Hi and welcome back, guys. Hope you're all having a great day out there. So listen, if we want to prove that XRP as a digital asset is going to get lifted to a high value and do it in a reasonable amount of time, then what we have to do is our due diligence. We got to do our research, reverse engineer it all, and understand that very little of what the mass media puts out we can actually trust. And so we got to take what we get. And here today, we got some pieces of the puzzle. We're going to put it together, but more importantly, here at the end, we're going to talk about the banks buying, hoarding, utilizing XRP. If you do like talking about both Ripple and XRP, drop an X in the comment section, smash that like button. Let's get into it. I hope you're all having a great day out there. It's here today. Speaking of mass media, Bloomberg puts it out that Franklin Templeton, who has 1.7 trillion under assets under management, is partnering with Ondo Finance, who of course is partnered with Ripple, to offer tokenized versions of its ETFs to trade around the clock through crypto wallets, bypassing brokerage accounts and limiting trading hours that have defined fund investing for decades. So here we see it, guys. Franklin Templeton, who, by the way, their head of digital assets has been extremely friendly to XRP here recently, not just in understanding that they have the XRP ETF product, but also what he stated about the usability, the utility of XRP and what drove them to get involved into XRP and what's going to drive more to get involved with XRP. Now, I know some of you have seen this clip, but I want to remind you of this 1 minute clip right here.
Businesses. And I think that is the thing. When you start consuming, when you start using XRP, the network itself, to solve business problems for you, to help you to create efficiencies or create new utility or opportunities, that becomes the unpacking point where I think we're like, aha, I'm using this network. I need to use XRP to append, records onto this network. Oh, there's a lot of potential total addressable market that can be applied here. And so therefore, maybe I want to own some of that XRP, inside of my overall portfolio for that same reason. I think that's the tipping point. At least that's how we at Franklin Templeton came about it. We just tried to figure out how to use distributed ledger technologies in the securities businesses that we're in. And once we unpacked that, like, oh, right, these are going to be used by lots of information-based businesses over time. And so therefore...
And so what you have is Franklin Templeton's head of digital assets there essentially saying they didn't get into XRP to speculate, and others won't either. They bought it because they needed to use it. And so as we see what's going on with Franklin Templeton launch